President Armijo, members of the board. We have a presentation by Mr. Romero. It's the work that was started in a discussion this summer when we had our board retreat. School districts across the country are working on profile graduate. I don't know, what are some of the other terms, Natalie, that they use?
Graduate profile,
Student
outcomes.
Student outcomes portrait, right? And so, with the help of our staff and input from the community, we have developed, what is it, right there? Our profile of a graduate that Mr. Romero would like to present to the board, since it was one of our topics from the board retreat. We get into the winter break. All right.
First of all, I would like to thank Chris Armijo very much. Her assistance with this over the last 3 months, and her brain, just being a brain buddy with me, and her help with the graphics. Could not do this without her. I would like to thank Mr. Adams and his staff. The students of the high school, they all gave their, or many of them gave their input, community and families, and of course you guys, the school board. As Mr. Viviano said, maybe, there it is. So the work began in the summer of 2022 at the board retreat, and we really started talking about what a graduate profile is. Bob Lenz from Transforming Schools just says it's a community-wide vision statement describing what a learner should know and be able to do before he or she graduates from school. When we started talking about this, some of the language that we heard about what a MESD graduate profile is I've summed it up as a set of skills or attributes that a student from Moriarty Edgewood School District will have upon graduation. These skills and attributes will be developed in their 13-plus year educational experience within our school district. And they will be developed over time at whatever age is developmentally appropriate at whatever level they're in. And we also work in partnership with the community, especially with the community and parents. It's not just something that, these skills and attributes are not something that we will check off and say, oh, they do, these students have it, these students do not. But rather it's a set of attributes that we will be collectively responsible for providing opportunities for students to develop them in their 13-plus year educational experience with us. So if you would remember in that work, just really quickly, Central New Mexico, United Way, Central New Mexico graduate profile looked like this. They took 51 facilitated focus groups and came up with something that encapsulates what Central New Mexico, high schools, community employees, and then wider community, they created this. This is Penasco's graduate profile. This was work that they just completed this year, and they worked in partnership with a company called Future Focus of New Mexico. These are some other samples from across the nation. So as I said, the work began in the summer of 2022, and we had facilitated roundtable discussions with the board and administrators, and we felt like it was important to get the students and the community's voice, and so slowly we moved forward, but we didn't quite move fast enough, so we thought that it would be very important to finish this work. So this was just some pictures and our brainstorming from that board retreat in 2022. In that work, these were the attributes or the skills and traits that were generated from that work. Critical thinker, collaborative, communicator, resilient, innovative, adaptable, perseverance, empathy, collaborative, and future ready. So, right before Thanksgiving, we went to the high school and worked with some students. Some of the students that gave their input are actually in the room tonight. And so we did just a really basic Post-it note, and they are actually right here on the side. I put them up there so you can read the students' work if you would like to at the end of the meeting. And we also did a consensogram that's hanging on that wall, asking the students for input about what they thought, number one, what they thought attributes were so important for to have when they graduated, where Moriarty Edgewood School District students should be in 10 years, and what skills they should have. So 123 students visited us over those 2 days, and their top 3 skills or attributes were future ready, adaptability, and critical thinker. We had 18 staff members come and visit us, and their top 3 were future ready, communicator, adaptability, and critical thinker were tied. Here are just some quick, we pulled these off of the Post-its. So what should an MESD graduate be able to do? Students said they should go to college, get a full-time job, have a willingness to work, they should be able to do their money and taxes, be able to go anywhere without a parent.
Except the fast food drive-through line. Don't do that. That's too much.
Communicate and be social. We asked what skills or traits should an MESD graduate have. Some of the thoughts were a good work ethic, confidence, good listening and communication skills, adaptability and preparedness, life skills, good financial knowledge, not food financial knowledge, self-awareness, tenacity. As an MESD graduate, where will you be in 10 years? So their answers, so these are just a few. There are so many Post-its on that poster, but a few of them: I will be a teacher, I will be in the military, I will be a law student, starting a doctorate in my chosen field, plane mechanic, hopefully I will have my own business. We had a lot of ag teachers. I think Mr. Henson's in the room. We had a few ag teachers. Shortly after that, I think after it was the first week of December, we sent out a survey to all of our families, district-wide. We thought it was very important that we captured all of our families' opinions, not just the high school, but parents of preschoolers. What is it important that we instill in your children as they walk through the halls of our schools? So we gave them the words that were generated at the retreat and that the students received. And our top were critical thinker, future ready, collaborative, and effective communicator. We had 85 responses to the survey. So future ready, critical thinker, effective communicator, and adaptable. We asked those 3 other questions. What should an MESD graduate be able to do after high school? And I believe that Ms. Kat has given you a packet. It's a stapled packet, and it is all of the survey results from that. So you have all of them. You can read them if you'd like to. I really would like to thank the community for their responses. They were very meaningful and very impactful feedback. Some of these they would like to see them take care of themselves, manage finances, write a check, make decisions. The second question, what additional skills or traits should a graduate have? A skill that can lead to employment, and a trait to continue to follow goals and dreams, productive member of a community, well prepared for the next phase of life. And then where do you hope to see an MESD graduate in 10 years? Career, job, successful careers. Graduates should be productive members of their community, happy in their career, self-sufficient. So we took all of that information and we did our best to culminate it to create what we thought, what we think is a graduate profile for the district. So we took some graphics. I ran around the district office with some samples and said, which is more eye appealing? Which do you like better? And then with Miss Armijo's talent, just amazing talent, she helped put these together. So with those four: identified, critical thinker, engaged citizen, future ready learner, and effective communicator. A graduate of Moriarty Edgewood Schools is a critical thinker. Somebody, a student or a graduate who approaches challenges with curiosity and thoughtful analysis, solves problems using logic, reasoning, and creativity, formulates innovative new ideas, and is flexible and an agile thinker. An effective communicator, proficient in a range of communication styles and methods, communicates with purpose and confidence, engages in productive and positive dialogue, and actively listens to others. An engaged citizen, exhibits commitment and respect for the community, demonstrates empathy, respect, and integrity, understands diverse opinions, and makes ethical decisions. A future-ready learner, approaches challenges with curiosity and thoughtful analysis, solves problems using logic, reasoning, and creativity, formulates innovative new ideas, and flexible. I just said that.
Yeah, I think I messed up. The descriptions
I'm
were
all,
on the paper, sorry. My fault. I'm sorry.
No. A future-ready learner, right? Is that where I would be?
Yeah.
Yes, a future-ready learner. What do we
Yes. When I copied and pasted, I forgot to change the bullets, Natalie, on the slide.
Okay, no, that's okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. An effective communicator is the blue. So we took all of those and created this graphic. Again, we did our best to really capture all of the thoughts from what the students wrote, what we had from the board retreat and your thoughts, and the parent communication. We did have, I did skip, we did have a virtual session that I did post publicly, so even members of the community on Facebook had the link, not just parents. We did not have a lot of people join us that night. I think we had 6 parents, but that 6 is very impactful. So this is not something, again, that we will grade students on or hold students, yes, you have it, no, you don't, you can't graduate. This is very much, if we're holding anybody accountable, it's ourselves for providing these opportunities for our students to encapsulate these skills. So, very proud of all of the feedback and the input. And I did it in 18 minutes. Questions?
No, it's beautiful. It is. Nice job. Yeah.
And that the kids who are involved in this, they can take ownership, they can believe in it, is important.
Yeah, and I think we'll have an opportunity during the board meeting. We'll revisit this and maybe give some feedback. Thank you so much. That was awesome.
Thank you, Kristen.
Natalie.
Thank you,
All right, well, we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order, and we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Armijo, members of the board, members of the audience. I just saw Ms. Aragon pop in. Are we ready?
Yeah.
We have with us the Moriarty High School Messengers who will sing the national anthem for us, and I believe one homecoming song, right? I'm hoping.
Yeah, one after another?
I'm hoping.
Yeah, all right, yeah, that's great.
All right. You guys please stand for the national anthem.
Oh, oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. A jingle bell swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chime in jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air, what a bright time. It's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time, it's a swell time to go gliding in a one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet, jingle around the clock. Mix and mingle with the jingling beat. That's the Jingle Bell Rock. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell chime in jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chime in jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air, what a bright time, it's the right time to rock the night away. Rock the night away. Jingle bell time, it's a swell time to go gliding in a one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet, jingle around the clock. Mix and a mingle with the jingling beat. That's the jingle bell, that's the jingle bell, that's the Jingle Bell Rock. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock.
Thank you very much.
Amazing.
All right, moving on to adoption of agenda. Don't want to after that.
No, let's keep on going, right? Keep on going. President Armijo, members of the board, I recommend adoption of tonight's December 19th, 2023 agenda.
All right, so we have a recommendation from Superintendent Bibiano to approve tonight's agenda as is. Any questions? If there are no questions, then I'll need a motion for adoption.
I so move.
I'll second.
Motion passes. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. That was an incredible performance. I think it's an example of the spirit, and it touches on, I think, Natalie, on a lot. It exhibits a lot of what we see it, you know, they check a lot of the boxes. And so this is why we're here, this is why we do what we do. And so welcome to everybody, we're happy you're here. We're so close to the holidays, well-deserved breaks. So Merry Christmas and welcome, and we hope to move through tonight relatively quick. So thank you for being here, though. Thank you so much.
Our renewal members of the board. Moving on to approval of minutes. I recommend approval of regular meeting minutes from November 21st, 2023.
So a recommendation from Superintendent Bibiano to approve the draft of the regular meeting minutes from November 21st of 2023. Are there any questions, changes?
Yeah, I'd like to make a correction. Under Principal and Athletic Director Board Reports, it states Mr. Hudson instead of Miss.
All right, we can certainly make that change. Any other questions, changes, modifications? All right, so I'll need a motion for approval of the minutes with the change of the Ms. Hudson from Mr. Hudson.
I'll move to adopt the minutes from November 21st with the changes that Ms. Burns just mentioned.
So I'll need a second for approval.
I'll second.
Second, so we've got a motion and a second. All members in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, very good. Citizens comment? You got anything? Get off easy today. All right, moving on to Superintendent's Board comments and accommodations.
President Armijo, members of the board, with us tonight we have several students and staff members and parents whose students have done some amazing things. They did some great work over the fall to represent Moriarty High School and the Moriarty Edgewood School District. And so we'd like to start with Mr. Henson, if you would please. Mr. Henson, our Ag, FFA advisor and Ag teacher. He has with us tonight Moriarty Edgewood School District, Moriarty High School FFA students, and they will tell us about their accomplishments at the National Convention that took place in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Members of the board, Mr. Superintendent, thank you. So here I have some of my great members that I got to have this year. Miss Ellie Encinias, she competed in prepared public speaking, which is a 6 to 8 minute time prepared public speech that she wrote on her own personal experiences, competed at the state level, won at the state level, then went and competed at the national level against 48, or well, technically 47 of the other best public speakers across the nation. She ended up getting a bronze individual medal. So she did an amazing job representing Moriarty and the state of New Mexico. And then to her left, we have Mackenzie Satterfield and Madison Satterfield, half of our FBM, our Farm Business Management team that competes in career development events. And Mackenzie Satterfield was a gold emblem member, and Madison Satterfield, who's also an 8th grader, was a silver emblem member and who joined the team late. And she pretty much, what she did in 4 months was ridiculously awesome. I mean, it was, what she did in a 4-month period is what most students do in a 6-year period for FBM, especially because it's a very technical, very hard math competition, in lack of a better term. The other 2 members are Wiley Schwabach and Aiden Schwabach. And Wiley was a graduate from Moriarty last year. He was also a gold emblem member. And Aiden Schwabach, who transferred now, he was also a gold emblem member. And they were 13th?
Yeah.
13th in the nation, which is huge because that's out of 50 teams, top 13 in the nation, which is amazing. And they just continue to grow and show that Moriarty FFA is still prevalent even at the national level, which is amazing, and completely representing New Mexico FFA every time we get to go to nationals. And then Wiley Schwabach was our first ever national proficiency award winner across the board in all of our concepts, and his was in diversified crop production. So, yeah. So for the Moriarty family members.
Would the students like to say anything about their experience, or you don't have to? I'll put you on the spot,
Put you on
right?
the spot.
This is the impromptu speech, not the prepared speech portion.
Well, Mackenzie was second in our district for extemporaneous public speaking.
Extemporaneous.
So
There you go.
she's good at impromptu.
So getting to experience nationals for the first time and getting to see like all the people from all around the country competing and just kind of getting to see like your competition room and all the people you're competing against, I think was really cool. And just getting to experience national convention was amazing. So.
Continue on, good luck.
Going off of what Mackenzie said, I thought it was a great experience that we had. We got to experience together, and for me, it was really amazing to see the different experiences that people in the country have that us here in the Plains, we don't completely understand what the people in New Jersey experience with the water. So it was super interesting for me to be able to see the different perspectives of agriculture across the board.
I agree with both of them, and I was super fortunate to be able to have the chance as an 8th grader to be able to go to nationals, and I really enjoyed the experience and hope that I can go again.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated, and congratulations.
Yes.
Well deserved,
Can I
congratulations.
just say thank you for my card from you guys, that was really cool. I love the picture.
Okay, moving on, we have Athletic Director Joe Anaya, and we have with us some student athletes that participated in the various fall sports for Moriarty High School. Mr. Anaya?
Good evening, Superintendent Bibiano, President Armijo, members of the board. We want to recognize our fall sport athletes. This year has been the most athletes we've had out since before COVID. We had over 260 physicals turned in for the fall athletes alone. So we want to recognize each sport, starting with volleyball, Coach Michael Bagustis.
Good evening. This evening I brought 2 of my 3 captains with me. Seniors Elisa Gauna and Miranda Quintana. Juliana Young, it's her birthday tonight, so she is not with us. But we celebrated our season, earned numerous members on the all academic district team, members on the first team all district, second team all district, and honorable mention. And then Alicia was also up for Senior Student Athlete of the Year award at the Metro Banquet. So she was in the running there. Miranda also participated in the All-Star game where she played in 3 sets against the red team. It used to be North-South, so they changed that a little bit. And so they were here. They did everything that they could. They worked hard every single day. So I appreciate what they brought to our program.
Thank you.
No. So much fun.
Congratulations on your award. Thank you.
Thank you.
Having a great season, we'd like to introduce girls soccer, Coach Val Lucas.
Yeah, Coach Val.
She loves public speaking. Come on.
Hi, I'm Coach Luker, and our varsity soccer team this year, we had 11 of our girls were all-district academic. We had 4 of them all-district first team, 3 of them all-district second team. We had Brooklyn Olivas was Player of the Year, and we started out our season going to the Socorro tournament, winning all of our games, winning the tournament. We came back and we did well throughout our season. We had a total of 15 wins, 5 losses, and 1 tie. We went to the state tournament. We made it into the quarterfinals, so we played 2 rounds. and unfortunately lost in the second round. But we came in second in our districts, and I got Coach of the Year.
It was a great season with the support of our parents and everyone in the community, so thank you for that. And that's it. Yay.
What?
You good?
And what?
You return your entire team.
Oh, yes, and we don't have any seniors, so we'll be having them all again.
Yay.
Next, we'd like to introduce cross country. Coach Wiltbank is out of town today, so his assistant, Denise Gustafson, will talk about the cross country program.
Thank you for having us. These are a few of my cross-country runners that ran this year. Our girls' team made it to state, and we had one of our senior boys, Bruno, here, made it to state as an individual. Caleb on the end was a few seconds from making it to state and was running with an injury and pushed through. And we had a really great season. I watched a lot of kids overcome a lot of things this season and was really proud of all of them. Most of my runners are multi-sport athletes, so that was fun getting to help train them in cross country and watching that carry over to other sports. We even had a couple kids show up just to practice with us to get ready for winter sports. So it was a really good experience, a great team this year, really, really great kids. They encouraged each other with academics, some of them spiritually, mentally, physically, just encouraging each other. So I was really proud of all of the kids that came out for cross country this year, but especially the one guy and all the girls team that made it to state. So.
Next is our football team. All of our football coaches are also basketball coaches, so the boys are at the academy game tonight. Coach Alvarado was the one who was left behind, so he gets to talk about the boys football. He's also a basketball coach, but coaches the girls basketball team.
Good evening. I'm Mark Alvarado. I'm one of the assistant football coaches. I have with me all seniors, Antonio, Isaac, and Solomon, Zukin, Dominguez, Isaac Dominguez, and Antonio Cano. Unfortunately, they're seniors, so they won't be back with us next year. You know, we started out with a great season. We were doing really well. We were kind of plagued with injuries at the very end, and it just didn't go the way we had planned it or the way we'd liked it to go. We missed the state playoffs by one team, and if you ask us, it could have gone either way. You know, we should have been in that state playoff competition, but you know, through the even though the season didn't go the way we liked it, you know, we had a great bunch of seniors, great leaders, and these are just three of them that made it today. We had some first team all district and a few second team all district, which says a lot with the season that we had. So we're very proud of them. You know, we have a young team. We look forward to them coming up next year. And if it wasn't for a lot of these seniors, you know, they nurtured them and brought them up. And you know, our last game against Taos, half of the players were freshmen and sophomores, and they did really well. You know, they did really well. So we're looking forward to next year as well. Isaac, he's a dual sport athlete. He played soccer and he came in. He's our kicker. He did a great job for us. You know, we couldn't have done it without him. He really did pull through for us in some of the games. So we're really proud of him. Solomon was one of our defensive ends. Did a great job, and Antonio's a tight end. So, you know, we're losing a lot of good seniors this year, And, you know, I think this is one of the years that we had a really good leadership coming from our seniors, and we're really proud of them. But we do look forward to next year. Hopefully it'll be a little bit better next year. So, you guys want to say anything?
I'd say that I've been playing football for 6 years in this district, and I want to thank the coaches because they really not only developed me as a football player, but as a person and a student, and kept me on the right track, I feel like.
I just want to say thank you to the coaches and my parents for supporting me through all my sports that I've done, especially through football, and allowed me to have the opportunity with my coaches.
I'd like to thank my community because we couldn't do it without you guys on those Friday nights under the lights. It was a lot of fun seeing everybody there, and like coming off the field and seeing everybody there is pretty awesome. And my coach is pretty awesome. I wouldn't be the person I was without him, and yeah, it's a pretty good experience. We didn't like this. I liked my season, even though it could have been better, but I liked playing with all my teammates. I'm gonna miss football, but I see a bright future with all the new kids. Happy to see it.
And one of the biggest things is we had more all-district academic award athletes this year than we ever have, and that's something to say about the school district and the community as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
And the last part of the evening is boys soccer. Coach Alcorn couldn't make it tonight, but in Coach Alcorn fashion, he sent me a speech. The boys soccer team has a successful season in growth and development. We had a record participation with more than 35 boys joining the team. Both the JV and varsity team made significant improvement all the way to the end of the season. The entire program is grateful for the new facility and excited for the continued growth of the program in the future. Representing Pino Soccer Night is Bruno Paqueta and Isaac Dominguez. Both Bruno and Isaac are strong representatives of what we want our athletes at Moriarty High School to be. Not only are they successful soccer players, they are strong leaders, multi-sport athletes, and outstanding students. Bruno Paqueta accomplishments: team captain, all-district academic, Heart of the Pinto Award, first team all-district. Congratulations, Bruno.
Thank you.
Isaac Dominguez accomplishments: team captain, all-district academic, team MVP, first team all-district, goalkeeper, first team all-state goalkeeper, New Mexico High School Coaches Association All-Star Selection. Congratulations, both players.
I'd just like to say I've been playing for this team for 5 years, and the experiences I've had through the years have been amazing, and I'm really sad to see it all go, but we have a really young team coming up, and best of luck to them, and I know that they can get it done.
Yeah, we had 12 seniors this year, so that's like a whole lineup, so we get a fresh start next year, and hopefully a lot more people show up with their new facilities. They're amazing to play on. Thank you.
That's it for our teams. Again, we had great participation across the board. All our numbers are up in every sport, and in most of our sports, all of our sports our numbers are young. So we got a good future coming up as well. So thank you guys.
Coach and I would just like to thank all the coaches and the students. One thing in particular is just taking the time out of their schedules for the coaches and the players to visit like our elementaries and read to our students. It means more than you'll ever know. I mean, those kids, the feedback that I get from parents and firsthand from some of the students is amazing. So, I think that is a wonderful tradition, and I think it's very impactful, and it resonates deeper than I think we even know. And I know they get a lot out of it themselves, so I just wanted to thank them publicly for that. So.
Pass that to Coach Brown.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good. All right, moving on. Moriarty High School Student Council representatives. Mr. Adams, who are you pulling from that group? Brooklyn, Alicia. You can address us, yeah. All right.
I'm Brooklyn Olivas,
And I'm Alicia Gana, and I'm historian for student council.
and I'm treasurer. So basically, throughout the first semester, we had an excellent turnout regarding homecoming and just our first semester activities, such as spirit days. And that couldn't have been possible without the support of obviously the faculty and everyone surrounding us today, as well as parents and the students.
Upcoming next semester, we hope to start planning for Sweethearts Week, and also this past semester we were able to start the first annual Candygram, which really brought the community together, the school community, so we plan to keep that our tradition. Anything else? That's it. And I think that's all we have.
If I may, I just appreciate Brooklyn, Alicia, and not just student council members, but I think it's the student council members who started the momentum at many of the events and just bringing back that Pinto pride and that spirit at the games, from the time the game is either, what is volleyball, served off? Yeah, I don't know,
Yeah.
serve, or football, there's a kickoff, right, or there's a, whatever starts the game, all the way to the end of the clock, and then afterwards, just staying around and getting the crowd into it. You've done a great job, keep it up. We need your leadership out there, most definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Move on. All right, principals and athletic directors, board reports. Any questions for the principals or Mr. Naya? Yep, he's still here.
I would just like to make comments. I've thoroughly enjoyed everything that I've participated in. Sport-wise, being at the new soccer field was quite exciting for the play in the state playoffs, and participating in the schools, the various schools. The the guitar concert was phenomenal, and I just was truly impressed in the number of students that are involved in that. And then going to Moriarty Elementary's thing at the PAC for their winter concert, that was just packed. The PAC was packed. The house was full, and it was just a delightful evening of the songs and of the holidays. And then I look forward to going to South Mountain tomorrow to hear their choral concert, whatever they're presenting in the morning. And I just think that we are well on our way of represent what we have seen tonight with all the accolades of the athletes and the grade points that they're carrying, being academic scholars as well. Moriarty Edgewood School District is well on their way of providing students with what they need to excel after graduation as an adult and moving forward in their lives. So I just am very honored and proud to be a part of the Moriarty Edgewood School District and what I've seen. And I like Mr. G's, did you have an ugly sweater contest today at school?
No, it's just ugly sweaters tomorrow.
Thank you all for your
All right, stay focused, move along.
Thank you for all your pictures. We always enjoy your pictures to see what's going on in the various schools.
Thank you, Member Hudson. Any other
I
questions or
wanted
comments?
to ask Ms. Kelton, what does STEM look like at preschool level?
The preschool STEM is going to look like cooking activities.
Oh,
We're
fun.
also going to have some other chemical reactions where they're working with vinegar and baking soda.
Oh,
It's simple, but we blow things up, we make some noise, but it's safe and it's preschool appropriate.
And then I had a question for Mr. Adams. There's a graduation tomorrow.
Yes.
And I just wanted to ask, how many are graduating early and how many missed graduation, but we're going to graduate them now?
I don't have those exact numbers. I have separated them. I know we have 9 students that are going to receive a diploma tomorrow.
That's awesome.
Some are going to be there tomorrow. Some have chosen to wait till the spring to walk with their class. So I'm assuming that some of the early graduates are the ones that are waiting till the spring.
Waiting till the spring. Awesome, thank you. And I also wanted to ask too, We have the blue collar tour coming again.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
amazing. Could you maybe elaborate a little bit for people?
Yes, the Blue Collar Tour is, Mr. Andy's brought it to Moriarty High School last year, and they tour in. Actually, this year they're coming and bringing their trailers and staying the night before, I believe, on campus. And it's a trade program where they introduce students and do some cool things and kind of get students fired up about, especially the welding profession. But there was a great video that went out last year from our high school. I believe I shared that with you in the board report. And so a lot of students are really anxious to see that come back again this year.
I bet. Thank you.
And I would, I just want to thank all the principals for all their hard work, all their efforts, the community outreach, you know, that was woven in and out of the board reports, you know, from care packages for the families.
Yes.
I think that, you know, just our being in step with our community is so important, and the fact that you guys take time out of your days to make sure that our community is welcome within our schools, but that we're actually also reaching out to our community. So that two-way street, I think, is just amazing, and I'm humbled as an individual that you guys take the time out of your busy days to do that. So thank you for that. I keep my comments relatively slow because, truth be known, I could do this. And, you know, I want this to last forever. I don't want this to end. This is being our last meeting and all.
I know.
If I go talk slow, then I'm here longer. But,
Yeah.
But I won't do that to you all. But thank you so much, and I've appreciated working with you, the principals, for 10 years. It's probably one of the toughest jobs in the district, and I'm just so grateful for your commitment to our students. So thank you. And your reports over the last 10 years have always been engaging, and I like where they have, basically when we started, you know, to where they are now, they're very reflective of the direction this district is going. So thank you so much for your work.
I'd also like to thank you guys for all the hard work over this last semester. The kids are doing amazing things. You guys are doing great things. It's been an honor to work with you guys the last 2 years, and so just keep up the good work. Thank you guys.
Can I just back up real quick too?
Absolutely.
To congratulate the younger students. EMS has Maddie McFarland that's gonna be participating on the shooting team. I didn't even know we had a shooting team. So that's a new one for me. That's wonderful. And then from Route 66, Miss Brooks for the Outstate Musical. That's exciting too. So we've got some great talent in our district.
All right. Thank you. Moving on to item D, Board President, Board of Education. Any other comments above and beyond? Anything else? No? Okay. All right, then, if there's no other comments,
Oh, you know what, I guess we will, just some board comments. One of them would just be the conference. You know, just kind of a review and, the couple of good things about it. Had a chance to visit with some of the new members. I think that was very positive.
absolutely.
Very positive is not even enough. It was super positive. I have much confidence on the next set of leaders that are coming your way, and I think the best news in that is that they are student-centered, you know, focused around children. Just even in the short conversations, I'm feeling very encouraged about the next set of leaders, you know, to kind of guide this ship, even though it's large sometimes and it takes a lot of energy to move it, but a lot of rowing. Sometimes forward, sometimes backwards, but nonetheless, So I was very pleased and very thankful to have participated in that and then been able to get to meet some of the, and then offer just any support and any help. And so I would extend that again, that I'm here to help. I might be not here, but I will be around. And I think one of the other things that was really exciting and very encouraging is I attended the AI breakout with the law firm that they've presented. Can't remember the name of it. Cuddy McCarthy. We're talking one of the best law firms in New Mexico, and they 100% were blown away with the attention to detail in our AI policy. We basically met probably 99.9% of what they were looking for in a policy, and they themselves were just floored that they were very thankful that our district took a lead role, and they really anticipate it being copied throughout the state because there's nobody really doing it. But the attention to detail, and it really isn't about, and this is their presentation, is it's not always just about promoting the technology, it's about setting up the safeguards and a district's responsibility for protecting students, protecting staff, but setting up those guidelines and those guardrails. And so, I think we were a little bit nervous, because we knew we were sort of stepping out a little bit and trying to get maybe ahead of it. But I will tell you that they affirmed the committee's work, they affirmed everyone's work and commitment. And it was very enlightening and very impressive that they even wanted some follow-up, and so which we provided. But they were absolutely just blown away. So great work to everyone who participated in, especially the tech committee, into the creation of the AI policy, but especially the safeguards and the identifying the legal aspects of it. They were blown away. So I would just say great work on that. Outside of that, I think we're good.
All right, moving on.
All right, so moving on, we have an action item before us. This is the item that we met in closed executive session for. Do we have any questions, comments? I would just say, I think this is I'm just gonna give my pitch to you guys real quick, but I think that this is a positive action that this board can take. I think moving forward for myself, I'm thankful that the town has taken the initiative to take this vote already on their side, and so through council, I believe that we can do take a similar action, to maybe try to come to some kind of agreement. Try to, maybe now that some of the sting is gone, and we're kind of just knee deep in the muck at this point. And so, I think there's probably reason, but I think it's good reason. So, I don't know if you guys have any questions or any comments beyond that, but I would like to make the motion, if you all would indulge me. So, but if there's no questions, I'm going to.
So, President Armijo, I'd like to recommend approval of proposal to suspend litigation with the town of Edgewood about the former Edgewood Elementary South building in favor of attempting to mediate the dispute.
All right, so we have a recommendation from Superintendent Bibiano to accept the proposal to suspend litigation with the town of Edgewood about the former Edgewood Elementary South building in favor of attempting to mediate the dispute. If there's no questions, I would like to make the motion for approval of such.
I will second that.
All right, so we have a motion and a second by Ms. Howells. All members in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes, very good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right. Superintendent's report. I'd like to, I have some other information and some handouts I provided you, but before I go into any more of that information, just some actually just budgetary stuff, most of it, but, any more discussion or any comments on Mrs. Romero's, presentation on the profile of a high school graduate? Kind of didn't need any further explanation why we did this, where we're headed, you know, it's work that's being done around the nation. It is, again, giving us a target to, you know, many times in education, they say align our arrows, or in organizations. This is giving us that target, where when we look at programs, when we look at adult behaviors, when we look at what we're doing, or not doing for our students, we can come back to at least this as a guidance. It's not the end-all be-all for everything that we need to do for students, but if a student can walk out from Moriarty High School, whether they came in their senior year or a 3-year-old in Ms. Kelton's Early Childhood Center, and it stays very similar all those years, and they can say that we provided them with this, then we're doing the right thing for kids.
When I looked at the graphic, it really reminded me what this is. I mean, so many districts use, you know, profile of a graduate, but when I looked at the graphic, it really resonated with me in that it reminded me of a kindergarten graduate. And these are the ideals that we would want to encourage and nurture. And the word nurture just keeps coming to my mind. These are the ideals that we would want to instill in even a kindergarten graduate. You know, so I sometimes don't like the word graduate just because it really seems singular to a high school graduate graduating from, but these are the ideals that, you know, it's a reminder to the adults of things that we're already doing. I mean, I'm looking at the accolades of what the FFA just presented, our athletes, even the choir. We just checked off almost every, so it's already being done.
Right.
It's already, you know, in place, and our students are living this. And this is basically a reminder to ourselves, to the district, to our community. I hope that maybe we can promote this within the community, because I think the community needs to take some ownership over our students as well, and encouraging them to hit these bullet points. You know, I think sometimes the responsibility, it feels like, and I'm sure you all have felt this at times, anytime something needs to be done, it seems like it goes straight to the school to figure out, you know, some ill in the world or in our social world, you know, they want the school to fix it, figure it out. And so I think with this, I think this can grow, and I hope our communities will embrace some of these ideals and support it, because this is what I'm holding in front of me. This is what I expected to see in 22. You know, because the energy that we had, you're right, we got busy. And some of that energy, we lost a little bit of wind in our sails, but it's come full circle with a very comprehensive, meaningful, and valuable direction. It is aligning those arrows, you know, and so I'm very thankful. And I think this graphic and the portrait there says it all. And I'm so thankful for that. It's very comprehensive, and I'm very thankful for the hard work involved. So thank you so much.
You're welcome, thank you. My challenge moving forward with the staff and myself, and I've said this many times, and some staff members here may have heard it or not, but my challenge is that this is not just gonna be a piece of paper on the wall. You know, the term living document, I guess, would fall into place. But it's something that we should be able to look at, point at, read, and be able to follow up with the positive systems we have in place, so the kids can move forward and exit with these skill sets. And so that's really important to me, that it's not just decorations on a wall.
And
that we develop systems around it.
I think by having the kids and getting their input helps them to take ownership.
Yeah, and I think we're going to have to revisit it, right? If it's a living document,
Right.
things may shift and change, and we may come back in a year or whenever we feel, you know, it needs to be evaluated again. And some of these may shift a little bit based on what's going on in our society or what's going on with our programs. So, yeah.
And I didn't know how it would come to be, but I mean, the engaged citizen piece of it, to me, I think stood out. If there's anything that took me by surprise, I didn't think I was gonna be surprised by any of this. I didn't think I was going, you know, because it was a very involved process, and, you know, I was trying to pay attention, but this engaged citizen piece really makes me happy, and I think that demonstrates empathy, respect, and integrity. Maybe one of the strongest pieces of this, because if we can accomplish that, if our students are able to accomplish those ideals, only good things will come to them, you know, and so that piece I think is gonna stick with me, and I'm gonna challenge myself to always reflect back on that piece of it, this engaged citizen piece, because that is who we are. I think, you know, being my last meeting, I think back on my dad and his time on the board. You know, he did it longer than I did, but, you know, when I saw that, it made me think of when I was a kid and we'd go camping. If we went to a park or we went camping, you know, and there would be the campsite. And, you know, and my father would always say, you know, we need to leave it better than we found it. We need to leave it better than we found it, you know. And I'm seeing that, and I mean, reading this here, it makes sense to me now. You know, if we can instill those types of things, I think we're gonna, you know, we have a future in our future. You know, our kids, we will be successful in creating engaged citizens. And to answer my dad's question, you know, even about the board or any of this, I think we're doing it. I think we're finding, I think you and I can say that we're leaving it a little bit better than we found it, you know. And so I think this is powerful. So very, very, very touching, very good work.
Mr. President, members of the board, I just want to point out that, Mr. President, that it's important to know that we purposely put the word empathy and respect because when you look at the students' words, those words were in there multiple times. Yeah. The word kind and kind adult, kind to others, have empathy, respect others, very much is in their writing, and it was more than 3 times. I mean, it really came out, and so it was very important for us to reflect that in this with a bullet point. So I think it's significant that that is specifically from our students.
I think that's amazing. Yeah. Very well. Anyone else? No.
All right, so I will move on with some information. I put in front of everyone a couple of documents. One is from the LESC, Legislative Education Study Committee. And then the other one is the New Mexico Education Partners, kind of has the school bus here. The New Mexico Education Partners is a coalition of professional education organizations. So it takes a majority of the teacher unions or educator unions, along with New Mexico Coalition of Educational Leaders, NMSL, as well as the School Board Association. And these 2 documents are the legislative platforms for these organizations moving forward into January, right? We are less than a month away from our legislative session coming up, and it's all budgetary. For the LESC, I'll let you guys, you know, everyone read it at their own leisure, but I did highlight one piece right here. What the LESC is proposing to the state legislature is a minimum salaries for all school personnel. This bill would establish a minimum annual salary of $30,000 for all public school personnel. And then it goes on. So I thought that's pretty impactful right there. And they really are stepping up, you know, their thoughts on the wages for those staff members that are not teachers, obviously, or administrators, and some that may not, still, be only be making the $15 or $25,000. This one, New Mexico Education Partners, on the back page, they have a similar, focus on retention, but their proposal is a minimum of $25,000, a minimum of 25, so they're a difference of 5,000, obviously, from the two organizations. The other piece that the education partners, they are proposing an average of 6% pay increases. So we'll be looking at that. We'll be running numbers with all these proposals. When Ms. Antoinette feels better, she'd already started yesterday, but we will start running numbers to try to be ahead of the game whenever, whatever number gets signed down the road, after the 30 days. And then, you don't have this in front of you, but I'll provide it to you. The New Mexico Public Education Department their proposal is a 4% salary raise for all employees except transportation employees. They are proposing that they receive a 10% salary increase to help out with the driver shortages that are still happening around the state of New Mexico. With retention for the public ed department, it was interesting. They're asking for almost $48 million to finance student residence. So those are the students that are actually in college still, but they come and teach for a school district, but they get a stipend, right? So they quit their job, they get like a $35,000 stipend, cost of living stipend. They teach for us, and then they have to commit if we were to offer them the job for 2 years. If they don't stick with us for 2 years on their own accord, then they would have to pay that money back. Right, and they're also trying to use that part of that $48 million to start paying students teachers. Another piece for special education by the New Mexico Public Ed, they are asking for $32 million for a salary differential for special education teachers and hard to fill positions.
It's gotten shot down in the past.
It's gotten shot down, pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then a real big number from the New Mexico Public Ed is $50.9 million for CTE programs and dual credit programs.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a big number, so, they're not gonna get the 50 more than likely, unfortunately. I wish they would. But it'll come down a little bit, but that's still gonna be pretty good.
Something.
Mhm.
If it's on there.
Especially when we're,
So I know there's a lot of.
Every school district is trying to
I'm
make
sorry.
that move, every school district is trying to make that movement to
Mhm.
help increase their CTE programs.
Absolutely, yeah. So, I know that's a lot, but, I'll have this in writing from the PED, because they had a Google slide that was just too many. Speaking of Google, I'm gonna pass this to President Armijo, if you don't mind passing this down. I just wanted that as information. In the consent agenda, there is a PO and talks about fencing for the Moriarty Middle School. I highlighted in orange where the fencing would go. Right now, we have posts with cable in some of that area. This will go from building down the road all the way to the old soccer fields with a fence. There will be double gates for maintenance needs. There will be gates off of the north parking lot. We get this completed, then the entire campus inside is secured either by fence or by building 360 degrees. That campus. So I know that there's a consideration to approve that PO, and I wanted to give you that information. And then lastly, yesterday I did attend the public hearing for the new rule proposals, where the Public Education Department is trying to, or has said that they are meshing new school calendar proposals with the 1,140 hours that was approved last year by the legislature. We are already at 184 instructional days, so the 180 days doesn't impact us much. Another piece of that are the 4-day a week schools who will be impacted because the proposal says that they need to be at least 50% 5-day a week. So I went to Santa Fe. There was there were 250 to 260 people that spoke primarily against 4-day and 180. Now there is some questions that we have that we've talked about in that proposal. limiting the remote days to only 4 per school year, and then requiring that those remote days be 50% synchronous. So I know my team, and I know the teams at the schools, if that's what comes down as a proposal, we'll figure out how to do it properly for kids. 50% is the minimum, but we can figure out what we need. But we still have questions. How do we monitor it? How do we do attendance? And so there's a lot of questions that are still gonna be out there.
Internet goes down.
Internet goes down,
Internet
anything
went
like
down
that.
the last time, yeah,
Mhm.
power went out for a while, and then.
Yeah, so, some of your colleagues, another school boards around the state I know had talked to some of you, or maybe, emails or asking for support, because it's gonna impact some communities if they go to a 5-day week, for them, so we support my colleagues.
I was also concerned too about the remote learning days too, I got to thinking as I was shoveling snow that we have a lot of students that live with grandparents and stuff, and we have remote days. Who's out shoveling the snow and everything for them, it's not just a snow day,
Yeah, yeah.
but.
Shovels play in the snow, shovel play in the snow right now, it's,
I'm just, I was
yeah.
thinking about that, and I thought, some of these families, that's probably really hard for them.
It is, and we are really tight with our hours right now, the way that we are. So to even just say it's a snow day.
Well, you don't wanna risk the safety of the students to try to, if they
Right.
limit you on the numbers of
Yeah.
days, it's.
Yeah, so the proposal is 4 remote days, in a calendar, with the other
Some years-
stipulations, and if you go over that for somebody, so one conversation that we have to remember is a remote day isn't just for snow days.
Right.
I mean, if the water system went out
Right.
in Moriarty, or something happened in Edgewood, there was, a full out electricity, and we still don't have it the next day. I don't know how we have remote if we have no electricity, but you know what I'm talking about. So remote days, anything can pop up, and if you exceed the 4, then you can apply for a waiver. But if not, then you would have to make up those hours somewhere in your calendar. People automatically go to the back end, right, an extra day. That's the easiest probably, but that doesn't mean it's going to be the best. There may be some ways to wiggle around hours. It doesn't have to be a full day, it could be hours. So we're working on it. We're still wrapping our heads around it. And I believe, sir, that is all I have. Thank you. All right, Learning Services, Director of Learning Services, Board Report, Mrs. Romero. Any questions?
I just would like to say I'm really shocked that they have not certified our 40 yet, and we registered in the 80s.
I know.
That's a little at a loss there.
Mr. President, members of the board, yes, Mrs. Howes, I have your feelings. I can say that as of today, we are looking very, very good with 80 day. We have one mishap that we're trying to figure out why our data's not moving right within NOVA. However, our 40 day, if they would certify it, we're ready for it to be certified, but I think that the PED has just moved on at this point. I do.
They might just skip it.
I think they just are moving forward.
Because they had so many issues, or?
Yes,
Yeah.
there's still 8 fairly larger districts in the state that have not been certified. We are one of them. I think that they are focused right now on all of the errors within the data system for 80 day, so they're not answering those help tickets on the 40 day. We have some help tickets sitting in there for 40 day, but because Kennard Hibbler is a genius, he has figured those out, and so we're still able to send up data and capture it, and we see the corrections, but so they have the corrections, but they're not looking back at that 40 day. So we are looking at some data in transportation certification right now, and he figured one major piece out, hot off the press, the mileage is
I was
good to
gonna
go.
bring that up, yeah.
Yes, the mileage, we have, yesterday it was all zeros, and today it is right in there. So he identified that, and now we're just trying to piece together some students that are missing.
I love it when there's students. We say students.
Yep.
On paper, not in person.
Yeah, I knew what you meant.
On Excel sheets.
Yeah, Vice President House, this transition from STARS reporting to NOVA reporting has been, yeah, it's been very
I think
interesting.
I kind of predicted that.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the other conversation at the conference. Everybody was just, it's a mess. It's a mess.
Yeah, I mean, our data is being sent up and is ready when they don't pull, when it's not even downloading it, I guess, to say, or
Yeah,
pulling it
right,
right
yeah,
yet, so,
yeah.
yeah. Okay, any other questions for Mrs. Romero? No?
I would just like to say thank you.
Thank you.
Don't you cry.
Gracias. All right. Gouge my eyes.
Moving on to business. President Armijo, members of the board, I recommend approval of consent agenda finance items 1 through 4.
All right, so a recommendation from Superintendent Bibiano to approve consent agenda items 1 through 4. Any questions? He provided the map so that we could look at, I would say it's really not relevant to this, but I'll wait. Anyway, I was just thinking maybe we could do a change order. If we've corrected the gates for expedited exit at the football field for emergency vehicles. I don't know, maybe is Joe here? When we had that student athlete get hurt, this is not the time. I will ask later. But I think, but it just made me think, yeah, when we saw this and I'm like, but anyway, if they're gonna be out, maybe we could have them put a gate, but anyway, other conversation. So we have a recommendation to approve consent agenda items 1 through 4. Any questions? And if you do, please keep your questions focused. I mean, you guys are like out of control.
Don't be like
You're out of control. Don't be like me, exactly. Anyway, if there are no questions, I'll need a motion.
I move that we approve consent agenda finance items 1 through 4.
All right, so I'll need a second.
I'll second.
So all members in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes.
All right, moving on. Antoinette is not with us tonight. She had a medical situation that she's taking care of, and looks like she's gonna have to have surgery on her wrist on the 28th, right? Yeah, right? So we told her stay home, take care. She was, at the hospital all night.
She was grateful.
Yeah, yeah, no. She kind of called me and told me she was staying home, so. She provided information on B, C, D, and E, but if you have any questions or anything that I need to take back,
No, I think we're good.
text her, I can bother her. All right, personnel. Director of Personnel Board Report, Dr. Buckley. Any questions?
I just like the word none, that's all
Yeah,
I
that's
can
right.
say.
Well, I will tell you that since I submitted the report, we were at 8, now we're down to 6.
Awesome.
So, and then we also got, at this time, we have 7 extra subs now that we've never had at this time.
Yeah, good job.
Good job.
That's funny.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Dr. Buckley? Thank you, Dr. Buckley. Support services, special projects, and other items. Transportation coordinator, tech coordinator, maintenance coordinator, and food services coordinator, board reports. Any questions, comments? Good to move on?
I think we're good.
All right, board policy. A, discussion, second read, new policy, ACB, non-discrimination related to reproductive or gender affirming health care. Discussions, comments?
Looks the same.
Hasn't changed.
Hasn't changed.
This came from the state, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I gave, at the last meeting, I did give some background on, you know, some of the House bills
and all that good stuff.
that
And also that we're obligated by
by statute to basically do this, so.
Well, I wouldn't want to turn away healthcare to anybody.
Yeah.
But I don't know that we really provide healthcare. It doesn't really apply
It's a
to
pretty
us.
blanket, this
Yeah.
piece of it is pretty blanket.
Yeah, I feel like it was just written for any government entity.
Correct.
It is.
Mhm.
It is,
Right.
yeah. It just,
It is.
including.
Based on the,
public
right.
education,
Mhm.
correct.
Which we're part of.
Okay,
All
we
right.
good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. Moving on to action item, President Armijo, members of the board, I recommend approval of board policy ACB, non-discrimination related to reproductive or gender-affirming healthcare.
All right, so we have a recommendation from Superintendent Bibiano to approve policy ACB. It's a new policy, non-discrimination related to reproductive or gender-affirming healthcare. Any questions? If there are no questions, then I'll need a motion for approval.
I'll motion that we approve them, A, B, and C.
A, B, and C. I'll need a second.
I'll second.
So we have a motion and a second. All members in favor say aye. Aye. All right, motion passes. I don't believe I heard a nay, so we're good. Next one.
Discussion, second read, new board policy ACBB, Human Rights Act protecting for gender or gender identity. Open up for discussion.
Oh, this one we didn't have.
Yeah.
Oh. And again, same thing.
Yep.
Okay. Interesting.
All right, you have a recommendation for us?
All right, we're moving on. Action item, recommendation, President Armijo, is approval for new board policy ACBB, Human Rights Act protection for gender or gender identity.
All right, so we have a recommendation from Superintendent Bibiano to approve policy ACBB, Human Rights Act protection for gender or gender identity. There's no questions. I'll need a motion for approval.
I move that we approve ACBB.
All right, and I'll second that motion, so all members in favor say aye. Aye. All right, motion passes. Moving on.
Moving on, advanced planning, request for discussion items to be considered for January. Anything other than what's listed?
There's this gate that's missing.
Now we go to the gate. Yeah, we will discuss it.
I'm just kidding.
It's not missing. Missing means it was there.
Oh, okay.
Right, right.
It's kind of like our students. Right?
Yeah, we're missing, they were there.
I did have a question, and I'm not sure I know that Ms. Anglin had a list that we had started. And it's funny that you're here tonight. She had a list that we had, that she had helped me start on, in case, you know, there was ever a really new board coming in, on just duties the board has to do, little things that you might forget about or not realize. And I was just wondering if maybe the school board's self-evaluation was added on the list.
I don't believe so, but I am putting that together with a packet. So there's several items that I'm
Okay.
compiling that I will hand to you, and so we will make that change. I have it in printed form, I don't have it in digital. I'm sure it exists. Sorry to bring you into this. If you're gonna show up, we're putting you to work. So, but anyway, nonetheless, I am actually compiling a packet with multiple things. I'm hoping that will make it easier.
Can I look at it when you're done?
Absolutely. Would probably want your help.
Okay, that would be great.
When we're,
Okay.
most of it is digital, but a particular piece is still printed, but we can modify it. It's easy, we've got this.
And then a piece of advice to new board members coming in. These folks here love to use their little acronyms all the time. And sometimes you sit here going, what does that mean? Feel free to ask, because they get really excited when you ask them. And it's not embarrassing at all, because they get so excited about it to explain it to you, and you will get like a huge lesson on it. It's perfect. Yeah, it's amazing.
I would
So,
add that to my task.
There you go. Acronym, please.
Write it down right now, acronyms.
Yeah.
But it's true.
But it is true.
Yeah, it's true.
It's overwhelming.
It can be.
Any other items?
The board meeting,
Board meeting, January 16th.
we may be reaching out to, there may be a ceremonial piece to our presence at the next meeting.
He's stolen
But we will work that out, so just keep your
Okay.
emails and phones handy just in case
Yeah.
we're needed for that, so.
And we have posted for a possible quorum. I'm not sure who's gonna be able to make it tomorrow for the graduation, but
Remind me of the
everybody's
time.
invited, 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock at the PAC.
All right.
All right.
Well, this is how it ends, I guess.
Oh.
And hammer the gavel one more time.
Got a recommendation for us?
You ready?
Okay.
All right. President Armijo, members of the board, I recommend adjournment of tonight's regular board meeting.
Before we adjourn, no, I guess I would say, looking at the profile of the graduate, it made me think of that story with my dad. And I guess just reflecting on that, I think we can all just say basically, with our time here, I can tell my dad with confidence, even though he's long gone, that we did leave it better than we found it. And so, and I think there's room there's always room for improvement, there's always challenges, there's gonna be new challenges, there's existing challenges that we could not solve or couldn't get done on this particular timeline, and good luck. But anyway, they're there, and we do honestly wish you the best of luck with it.
Absolutely.
But I think more than anything, I'm extremely thankful to absolutely everyone. Every single person, every child, parent, school member. It has been an honor to serve you for 10 years, and I know you've served for 12. A little more than me. You always have to be a little bit better than me. It's Elizabeth. She's a little bit better than Charles. But it has absolutely been an honor. And with that, I will take a motion or accept a motion for adjournment.
Before you do that, I just have to, for on the record, because I just have to say, I have been blessed above by having you two already on the board, and how good you have been and how open you have been and available you have been. 2 years into this, it's not an easy task, but it's a very rewarding task, and it's a very important task, and it's been wonderful to serve with you two and with Wendy for 2 years. So I wish you all the very best, and then you're just around the corner, and we're gonna reach out, so be ready.
Thank you.
But thank you, everybody. Thank you,
Yeah.
Charles, thank you, Elizabeth, and thank you, Wendy. It's been an honor.
Do you want to make the motion? I'll second. Do you want to?
Sure. I motion that we adjourn.
I don't.
He said everybody else, he's not ready after all.
All members in favor say aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.